A fresh take on ancient wisdom. Mark Tuitert, The Stoic Mindset, Living the 10 Principles of Stoicism. Imagine dedicating over a decade to a moment that lasts less than 2 minutes. This was the reality for Mark Tuitert as he approached the 1,500-meter speed skating event at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. The pressure was immense. Each practice session, each sacrifice, and every single decision led to this pivotal point. What if it all ended in disappointment? Such doubts plague many of us, whether we're preparing for a career-defining presentation, stepping into a leadership role, or navigating pivotal personal relationships. During the nerve-wracking weeks before his Olympic performance, Tuitert discovered Stoic philosophy. While he can't say for certain that Stoicism won him the gold medal, it undoubtedly transformed his approach to life's challenges. In the Stoic Mindset, Tuitert shares how Stoic principles not only enhanced his focus, but also brought him greater peace of mind. Tuitert translates the ancient teachings of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus into actionable lessons applicable in everyday situations, from making decisive moves to managing emotional turbulence. If you're looking to cultivate resilience, drive, and a deeper sense of fulfillment amidst the chaos of contemporary life, this summary will give you the tools to turn philosophical insights into real-world success. Stoicism is a timeless framework for inner tranquility. Stoicism is a timeless framework for inner tranquility. Stoicism has always been a practical philosophy concerned with real-world concerns. Take it from the school's founder, Zeno of Citium, who lived in the 3rd century BCE Greece. Zeno wasn't a philosopher. He was a merchant. But then tragedy struck. After losing everything in a shipwreck near Athens, Zeno immersed himself in the intellectual life of the city. Inspired by the pragmatic teachings of Socrates, Zeno came to view adversity not merely as misfortune but as a crucial element of growth, famously stating that such setbacks put him on a good journey. All Stoics after Zeno embraced this idea, but it was most brilliantly exemplified by the 2nd century CE Roman philosopher and emperor Marcus Aurelius. Few leaders of the time faced greater challenges than Aurelius, a man who had to contend not only with the deaths of most of his children but also the betrayal of a trusted general. Trying to weather these storms, Aurelius turned to Stoicism to strengthen his resolve. "A person's life," he wrote, "is like fire. Minor troubles might extinguish a small blaze, but a roaring fire uses obstacles as fuel to burn even brighter." For Aurelius, adversity wasn't just something to withstand, it was essential for building resilience and fortitude. And that, really, is what Stoicism is all about. Cultivating a mindset that allows us to remain steady no matter what life throws our way. It's about controlling our reactions to events beyond our control and transforming potential setbacks into steps forward. Stoicism teaches that by focusing on what we can control and accepting what we can't, we can achieve inner peace and maintain effectiveness, regardless of external circumstances. Stoicism, then, prepares us for the unpredictable nature of life. Whether it's personal upheaval, career setbacks, or global crises, it equips us to handle sudden changes with calm and strength. By expecting and accepting the unexpected, we can stay flexible and resilient. But Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's challenges, it's about thriving amid them. Stoic thinkers encourage us to refine our character, cultivate virtues, and lead lives marked by dignity and effectiveness, regardless of external conditions. They urge us to embrace the trials and triumphs of life and, in doing so, discover a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose. Accepting your fate will allow you to love it. Accepting your fate will allow you to love it. Stoicism suggests that we can either resist life's momentum and suffer, or move harmoniously with it and thrive. Zeno's successor in Athens, the philosopher Cleanthes, famously invoked the image of a dog and a cart to explain this idea. "A dog tied to a cart," Cleanthes said, "can either follow willingly, aligning its actions with the inevitable, or resist and be forcibly dragged along." Similarly, people are compelled to follow their destiny whether they choose to or not. The only difference we can make is how we view the journey ahead. Simply put, life will be a lot more enjoyable if we accept our fate. Epictetus, a Roman Stoic philosopher who lived in the 1st century CE, expanded on this idea. To struggle against things we cannot control, he wrote, is like wishing for figs in winter. In other words, it's futile. This teaching aligns closely with a concept coined by the German thinker Friedrich Nietzsche in the 19th century, this being amor fati, or love of fate. We are happiest, Epictetus and Nietzsche agree, when we embrace life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Or to go back to Cleanthes's metaphor, the dog that happily runs with the cart suffers much less than the dog that resists and is pulled along anyway. This Stoic view extends to handling life's harsher realities, such as natural disasters and personal tragedies, with courage and resilience. Stoics urge us to see disasters as natural events, encouraging us to respond not with resignation, but with proactive courage. By aligning our perspective with the inevitabilities of nature, we can face challenges with a fortified spirit. A modern embodiment of Stoicism can be seen in Bibian Mentel, a Dutch snowboarder whose response to a life-altering challenge exemplifies Stoic courage. Faced with the amputation of her leg due to cancer, Mentel chose to focus on what she could achieve with a prosthetic limb, rather than dwell on her loss. Her remarkable return to snowboarding and subsequent victories as a Paralympic athlete highlight what's possible when we love, rather than resist, our fates. Stoics also warn us against expecting life to balance out hardships automatically. Such expectations can lead to toxic thinking, like believing you deserve certain outcomes without effort or adversity. For Stoics, entitlement and resentment are barriers to personal growth. Instead, Stoicism offers a pathway to empowerment through acceptance and action. By choosing how we perceive and react to life's events, we can transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Stoicism teaches that true fulfillment comes not from what we achieve externally, but from how we engage with life itself. Happiness is a side effect. Key to this idea is the ancient Greek concept of eudaimonia, a state of inner calm and self-development that thrives regardless of external conditions. To cultivate this state, Stoics argue, is to discover what it means to flourish as a human. For that reason, it's much more important than pursuing external measures of success like wealth, fame, or status. Through the lens of Stoicism, the lives of historical figures, from emperors to elite athletes, illustrate that external success doesn't guarantee happiness. Stoic writings reflect on individuals such as the Roman Emperor Augustus, who, despite his immense power, longed for simpler times and greater personal freedom. Contemporary examples, like the musician Avicii, also show how fame and fortune can coexist with deep personal dissatisfaction. Tragically, Avicii's struggle with mental health and the pressures of fame led to his untimely death in 2018. His life and passing underscored the Stoic principle that true contentment comes from inner peace and self-mastery rather than external achievements. Stoics argue that unrest often arises from a disconnect between our inner state and external circumstances. The essence of success isn't found in accumulating wealth or accolades, but in maintaining composure and resilience amidst challenges. Seneca, a prominent Roman Stoic, exemplified the philosophy by maintaining wealth without letting it define him. He believed true control comes from mastering one's reactions and emotions, not from owning material wealth. Stoic happiness, or eudaimonia, involves a continuous process of overcoming obstacles and learning to manage pain and sadness while keeping a consistent mental state. It's a journey of personal growth and meaning-making that doesn't depend on avoiding pain, but on triumphing over adversities. By contrast, happiness based on external achievements, like success or money, is inherently unstable and fleeting. This Stoic approach is often summed up by the saying, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." According to this view, happiness is not found at the end of a task, but in the effort and process of striving toward goals, regardless of their outcome. This mindset transforms even the most challenging journeys into sources of satisfaction and meaning. The more effort and perseverance one puts into a pursuit, the more rewarding the outcome becomes. This perspective empowers us to find contentment and peace of mind, independent of external successes or failures, promoting a meaningful life rooted in personal integrity and continuous growth. This approach ensures that individuals can face life's unpredictability with confidence and equanimity, making the most of every moment. Character is your most important project. Character is your most important project. Character plays a central role in Stoic philosophy. For Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, there is no higher calling in life than cultivating a good and virtuous character. Human virtue is embodied in the Stoic ideal of the sage. This archetypal figure lives in perfect harmony with nature and embodies the cardinal virtues of courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. These virtues aren't merely lofty ideals, but practical guides for daily life, pivotal to navigating the world morally. They serve as hinges upon which a fulfilling life swings. Stoicism asserts that living virtuously means doing the right thing, not only for oneself, but for others, thus contributing to personal and communal well-being. The pursuit of these virtues enables individuals to flourish and evolve toward their best selves. While Stoicism originally presented a binary view of life, either lived well or poorly, over centuries it's adopted a more accessible and flexible approach. The sage remains an ideal, a near impossible standard to meet, yet this does not diminish the value of striving toward such excellence. Historical figures like Muhammad Ali and Nelson Mandela exemplify how legendary status is often underpinned by adherence to the cardinal virtues. Ali championed justice and equality, transcending his role as a sports icon, while Mandela's long imprisonment and subsequent leadership showcased his commitment to wisdom, temperance, and justice. These virtues are applicable in everyday challenges and social roles. They encourage courage, not just in grand act, but in everyday resilience, facing illness, adversity, or societal upheaval without succumbing to despair. Temperance teaches moderation and self-regulation, essential for maintaining balance in life's pursuits. Justice involves fair treatment of all, regardless of status, and wisdom helps discern right from wrong, guiding decisions and actions in a morally sound direction. Without these virtues, achievements are hollow. For example, an athlete who resorts to doping, a parent who behaves poorly at sports events, a politician who sows division, or a CEO who engages in deceit are all examples of success devoid of virtue, rendered meaningless in the Stoic view. The Stoic blueprint for personal development and ethical living remains profoundly relevant today. By aspiring to the qualities of the sage and integrating the cardinal virtues into daily life, we can navigate the complexities of human existence with integrity and purpose, contributing positively to a just and balanced society. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Stoicism teaches that the essence of personal development lies not merely in setting ambitious goals, but in fully understanding and committing to the rigorous demands these goals entail. Just as an athlete preparing for the Olympics must embrace a rigorous training schedule, adherents of Stoicism approach life's goals with a disciplined, no-nonsense attitude. This philosophical practice emphasizes a profound practical engagement with one's aspirations, acknowledging the sacrifices and hardships necessary to achieve them. Stoic philosophy, in other words, transforms lofty ideals into daily practices. It's a method of living where philosophy is not an abstract theory, but a guide for daily decision-making. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, exemplified this by integrating Stoic principles to manage the burdens of leadership. His approach to Stoicism wasn't about crafting complex philosophical texts, but about using Stoic wisdom to navigate the everyday challenges of imperial governance. His personal writings, marked by brevity and clarity, served as practical reminders to maintain composure and ethical integrity amidst the pressures of his role. In Stoicism, the true measure of one's philosophical grasp is shown in action rather than theory. Stoics prioritize deeds over words, embodying their values through consistent, principled behavior. This philosophy insists on demonstrating virtue in real-world settings, from family life and careers to civic duties, embodying principles like courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom in all actions. For instance, consider the carpenter in Stoic teachings, who proves her skill through the act of building, not by boasting of her abilities. Similarly, Stoics are expected to show their philosophical mastery not through argument or debate, but through their actions and choices. This Stoic mindset is especially relevant in modern entrepreneurship. The effectiveness of a business idea isn't validated by the thoroughness of a business plan or the creativity of a marketing pitch, but by its actual performance in the market. Here, the market acts as an external validator, impartial and unforgiving, which rigorously tests the practicality and resilience of ideas. Entrepreneurs, much like Stoics, learn the most not through success, but through overcoming the failures and setbacks that the market inevitably presents. Stoicism, then, advocates for a life aligned with core virtues and acted out in daily practices, teaching us to lead lives of purpose, integrity, and profound personal fulfillment. Final summary. In this summary to the Stoic Mindset by Mark Tuitert, you've learned that ancient and contemporary Stoics alike pose the same question. How can we best flourish despite our inability to control the external circumstances of our lives? They answer that we must learn to accept our fates rather than struggle against destiny. When we do that, we develop resilience and become capable of personal growth. That, ultimately, is what allows us to live fulfilling lives regardless of circumstances.